Hello, my little Cappies, my little Capricorns, my little sweet soul warriors. Okay, today, first let me say, Capricorns, every Capricorn I know is the sweetest person. Just so sweet. Very tender-hearted, and some of them do have some problems, obviously. But let's get started in your reading. I just want you to know that I believe in y'all. Okay, here we go. I'm probably going to have to put my glasses on. All right, let's see what we have. Okay, this is, now I have to take them off. And this is a Five of Wands. These three cards are what you are, your personality right now, or what you've been going through. Okay, and then at the end we'll see if we can get you some advice. Okay, this is the Five of Wands, and that's your mind is having trouble getting focused. You see how they're fighting against, let me move it up just a little bit more. Each of the people, if they were going to defeat one person, they could all direct their wands or their energy toward this one person and probably defeat them. But your mind is not focused, and I believe the things that you have gone through too are also, they were very, how do I want to put it? Some of it was argumentative. Some of it was very difficult with another person. In my opinion, I'll tell you this right now, I get the feeling that you really cared for someone, but there was a lot of problems in the relationship. Okay, and then this is the Two of Swords, and you'll see, if I can move it a little closer, you'll see that she's blindfolded. Can you see that? She's blindfolded. Okay, and there are two birds, if you can see that. There's a bird here and a bird here, and she has two swords, and she doesn't know which way to whack. All she would have to do is take her blindfold off, but she doesn't understand that. So the situation you were in and the situation you're in now, you're still kind of stuck. You're blindfolded. You really, and you see back behind here, you see all this rough churning water, and that's emotions, and your emotions are in turmoil. Okay, and you see the sliver of the moon. The moon usually means mystery, things you don't know, because we can't see the backside of the moon. Sometimes if it's bright enough, the moon illuminates what we want to see. Okay, but this is just a little sliver, little tiny sliver. So you, at this point, I think you're stuck. You don't know which way to go. You're kind of stuck. You're trying to get over this situation. Okay, and this is a Five of Swords, and this is a very devastating card. You see this man, it's I really thought about taking this card out of the deck. I really don't like this card, but it's someone that has hurt. See, they tied this person up, can you see it? And then they either stabbed or killed or hurt the person that he loved. And so that's someone who did what he wanted to get what he wanted. And so in your relationship, I think there's a mixture. I think sometimes you did what you wanted to get what you wanted, but then I also think someone else did that to you. Someone else was very egotistical. But I think there's a little bit of that. There were a little bit of you and a little bit of the other person. Sometimes I think it was more the other person. But I think you were a very busy person, and I feel like you were working a lot. And so some of the things that happened between you and this other person, and I just get the feeling it was a relationship. Okay? All right, let's do this again. All right. Now, this is the Queen of Pentacles. And you see, a queen has worked her way up. She's very strong. The Queen of Pentacles is very solid. Okay, a very, very solid person. If you were a male, or are a male, sorry, then I believe that the other person was a very solid person. I'm not sure you were that solid in the relationship. Okay, I think you had a lot to do. There was a lot going on in the relationship. And if you are a female, this just stands for someone who's a little bit of solid. You're the other person you had in the relationship. Kind of very stable person. Okay. And I think in some ways you are a very stable person. You are very solid. You're a hard worker. You work all the time, okay? And you want a solid relationship. But I think, and now this is not for all of you, but I think some of you didn't stay solid in your relationship. Okay. And this is the Two of Wands. And a Two of Wands is where someone is, they normally have in the Rider-Waite, they have the world in their hands. They're holding on to one wand. They have the power. They have the world in their hands. They can create it. But in this card, you'll see he's just kind of sitting there, kind of bored, kind of waiting around for everything. So something happened in your relationship. I think you were always waiting for something else in the relationship. I think possibly for it to get better or more solid. But I do believe, see this card where he was kind of like, kind of bored, you know, got his hand. Can you see it a little bit better? He's just kind of sitting there. What I believe is in the relationship, there was some, oh, and let me show you this too. You see up here, there's a white light and a red light, or glowing golden light. I don't think the relationship was balanced, okay? For some of you, I think it was you. I don't think you were settled enough. And for others, I think the other person wasn't settled enough. Okay, and this is the Hierophant. And this is strange in this reading so far, because a Hierophant is someone who teaches. Oh, I got it now, sorry. Okay, what I'm listening to is they said you needed to learn a lesson. There were things you needed to learn. And you see, the Hierophant is, it's a soul, he teaches you soul lessons. He helps, supposedly help guide you, and he's a very solid teacher, okay? He's not wish-washy. But you see, only one of these people right here has their cap on. And for you, this goes along with your relationship. Only one of you seemed to be really solid in the relationship. I think both of you cared for each other, but I think one of you was more solid, okay? But this was a soul lesson you had to learn through this relationship. And boy, it's been a tough lesson for y'all. Two of them came out. I didn't want to let go, so I'm going to put both of them down. When that happens for me, I always feel like they're telling me to keep both of them. Okay. So, this is the Page of Cups. Let me see. Can you see it? Okay, I'm going to move it a little bit closer. And you see how all the water is churning and everything? That's emotions. Lot of emotions, a lot. And she's walking through the water. Now, I think there was love there, okay? But and when a page comes in, it's a message of love or a message for your emotions, your nurturing. I believe that the universe is trying to nurture you, trying to help you through um, this stuck state that you're in, the depression that you've gone through. They want you out of it, okay? But as of right now, there's a lot of emotions going on, but they are giving you a cup of love, okay? Or, and hold on, because that's for some of you, and for the rest of you, I still believe the universe is trying to bring you that, okay? But for some of you, your emotions are such a high state right now. It's very difficult for you. I think you're trying to come out, you're just barely hanging on, okay? All right. And this is the Six of Wands. Now, this is a cup of, it's a card of victory, okay? And it's kind of gross in this, but you see, if you can see this, there's some kind of ogre or something like that. There's this ogre's head in a bubble that he has defeated, okay? So to me, this is saying this is a victory. It's going to be okay. If it's, I think you're starting to come out of it. And the reason I think you're starting to come out is because of these two cards you had before, prior. Okay, this one is where you're stuck, you're blinded, you don't kind of know which way to go. And this one is where the relationship was not a fair-sided relationship, okay? And then you have victory. So to me, I think you're starting to come out of it for most of you, and I think some of you have come out of it. But I think you will get a victory. Okay? And remember, these two cards came out together. That's understandable. Okay, let's go through this first. Okay, this is the Eight of Swords, and you see this female in this deck right now, but whether you're male or female, the cards don't read gender, they just read energy. So you feel there's a fear, which way to go? You know, I don't want to get cut, I don't want to get hurt, you know, I'm stuck. And that goes along, obviously, with, where are we? Right here, okay? Goes along with being stuck, okay? So, and it also goes along with a horrible situation that you lived in, okay? But it's a soul lesson. Everything you've been through is a soul lesson. So far in the reading, I think you're kind of stuck. You've got your emotions are in control of you, but you're starting out in a new path. That old situation is dead. I can tell you this now. I can feel it. That old situation is dead. And this is the Fool. And you see, she's got her little dog with her little companion, that spirit with you. And she's not taking much with her. She just has her little hobo stick. Okay? But that doesn't mean that you've lost all your money or anything like that. What it means is the knowledge that you're taking with you, or there's not a whole lot that you can bring with you. You've just got to go on this new journey and kind of let go of that other and go on this new journey and focus on this new journey. And it's a leap of faith, okay? It is a leap of faith, but you have Spirit with you. Spirit always wants, whether we've done bad or good, it's just learning lessons, and Spirit wants us to always be the happiest we could be. It's like a parent. You know, you want your child to be proud of themselves, to know that they can do something. And if they want some kind of lessons to advance them, sometimes people don't have enough money to pay for the lessons, but they always want that their child could have the best they could have. And that's, we just emulate spirit. So that's who we are. We're spirit's little babies, and they want us to be happy. But sometimes our own mind and the way we live is not conducive to happiness. But it's a soul lesson. So the more we learn, eventually we can create what we want, and we can become the happy person that we should be. Okay, one more round of these. Okay, I love these cards. These are my Dragon Tarot. They're very expressive. Oh yes, this is a Ten of Wands, and you see how he's carrying. Can I get this in focus a little bit more? Maybe I need to bring it down. Okay, he's got a heavy load on his head. You see all his antlers, and they're very, very heavy. And then he's got, they're all lit up. There's so much that they're carrying. So much they're carrying from the light of their spirit. It's very heavy, heavy burden for you. And now sometimes this card, depending on the card it's next to, can mean that you're letting go of a burden. But in this case, it's still, you're still carrying such a heavy burden. And y'all are the sweetest people. I just love Cappies. And here go again. This card goes with all the other cards here. You are going to get a victory, but just hang on to that victory, okay? But right now, again, even knowing that, or hoping the victory is going to come, this is where she's sleeping. But what happens, let's see if I can get it a little closer so you can see. There's swords on her bed, but they're sticking down. They're not sticking up into her. And this means even when you're sleeping, or your subconscious is constantly, you're going through over and over the same situation, and you're trying not to, but as you notice, she's sleeping. So I think you're trying to exist without thinking about it. It's still difficult for you. You still don't understand the situation, but there were red flags all along the way. I can tell you that. I can feel it. Just every kind of red flag, but y'all didn't pay attention. Okay, I think at times you did. It was like a big red flag in your face, but then someone talked you out of it, or you felt, well, I got to, give the other person, not excuses, but I have to give them some leeway, okay? Okay, and this is the Nine of Cups, and you see, here, I'm gonna bring it a little closer. He's just kicking back, and he's looking at all the cups and all the energy and stuff up there, and he's got his wands here. I believe, and the Nine of Cups is usually you're one cup away from success. And so I think you are waiting and hoping to get through this. And a Nine of Cups usually stands for someone who can create pretty much what they want, or they're just pretty content. And you see this person is kicking back. I think this is what you're hoping for, and I think some of you are getting there little by little. One more round. Okay. All right. And also, let me say this. This card right here, a Nine of Cups, goes along with, you are going to get success. You're going to come out of this. Okay? And then this is the Knight of Wands. And Wands right here, a knight comes in pretty fast. So action, I think you're working, let me explain a little bit more. When a Knight of Wands comes in, there is something that's coming in fast for you, okay? It's action that either you need to take, or some sort of action or dynamic ability is coming in for you. So I do believe that, and it can also be passion too. I also think in this relationship, it was a very passionate relationship. Whatever you had, it was a very passionate relationship. But that's gone. It cannot be revived, and that's the feeling I'm getting. The cards are not telling me. The only thing they're telling me is you're going to get success, okay? And I think this one here too, you are hoping for success, but this tells me you're going to come out of this situation, okay? Okay, but something is coming in very fast. I believe that they're going to give you something to do where you don't have the time to focus on this as much, okay? So I think there's going to be quite a bit of action coming in. And I also think that if you talk about this card, I think somebody was also very dynamic. I think both of you were. Okay. Very dynamic personalities. And this is the King of Swords. Okay. This is someone who's been through a lot. I mean, you've been through the ringer, okay? And you've worked your way up to where you were. You're very hard worker, excuse me, again, as I said before. You're, usually the King of Swords is someone that is very truthful. And you see he has his sword sideways. So it's not sticking up where it's, if you get an Ace of Swords, it's usually sticking straight up, okay? So that would be truth. In this deck, it's kind of sideways, but the King of Swords is a truthful person or wants truth, okay? He makes his decision. He doesn't wear his heart on his sleeve. He makes his decision through logic and facts, okay? Even though, and through past experience, okay? So I think that you have learned a great lesson, and it's helped you to become a little bit more solid about if you were in another relationship, this is the way you would be. You would notice things. You would not let the little red flags go by. You've learned your lesson, okay? And again, that goes with learning your lesson, the Hierophant, too. Soul lesson. Okay. And this is the Moon. This is a major arcana card. So this was a major, major thing in your life, okay? And there was a lot of deception in the past relationship. And that also goes along. This is in this row with this card. This is deception, okay? And now I'll say this again. I think some of you yourself were a little deceptive. And for the others of you, I think the other person was deceptive. But I get the feeling that there was some deception on both parts. Some things that people didn't want to tell each other, okay? But I think one of you, I want to say this, okay, one of you was the more deceptive person, okay? It just wasn't right. If you're really, really in love, there shouldn't be any red flags. Red flags are there to tell you, whoops, something's wrong here. Something is not right. And so there was a lot of deception in this relationship and a lot of lies. But again, you've got this card here, and you've got the Fool card. That's also a major arcana card. So these things, this was a past problem. And I think you may even still be lying to yourself about some things, but I think you're waiting to get out of this mess, and you are going to, because you're ready to step out and leave this mess. It keeps hanging on right now, but you are going to get victory. Remember the victory card, okay? You are going to come out of this with the soul lesson, and when you come out, oh my gosh, you are going to be one of the strongest people, I don't know whether to say on the planet, but you are going to, the soul lessons that you have learned is going to make you extremely powerful. Powerful. Okay, let's see what time we got. All right, we're going to do one more row of these, and then we're going to do one row of the, what am I trying to say? Sacred Force. Yeah. So let's get this. And, well, there we go. The Empress. That is, this last row is your outcome. It's what you need. This is what you are going to become, whether you're male or female. An Empress is, oh my gosh, she can create anything she wants. She knows her mind, and she realizes that her mind is the creator. She can create anything. Now, you're never going to get an old relationship back if someone has walked away. You can't force someone else, but you can bring something that you're really meant to have in your life. Wow. This is you. I mean, when you get through this mess, wow. And you're working your way through it now. Oh my gosh, another major arcana. This is a major arcana card. This is the World. This means you are going to have major, major success. And if you'll notice, let me see, I'm sorry, I'm out of frame here. She has a wand here and a wand there. And there's a bird in the background. To me, birds always bring messages. You know, pigeons they used to send pigeons back and forth. But the World means a brand new beginning, and it means success. Wow, you've got the world in the palm of your hands. Wow. You are, as I said, you are going to be a powerful, powerful person. Now, the difference between an Empress and an Emperor, the Empress is just a little bit more nurturing than an Emperor. And it doesn't mean that the Emperor is not a nurturing person, but he is more action, a little bit more direct. And she is a little bit more patient, a little bit more nurturing. Wow. And this is for you. This is your card of success. And it came out in this row with victory. Where do we have our victory? You see it? So, wow. When you get through this, and you're working through it now, I believe. Some of you are doing better than others. Okay. This is another major arcana card. Wow. And I mean, I shuffled and shuffled before this. And this is the High Priestess. You are very intuitive. You know exactly. Okay, let me explain. The High Priestess was someone who normally she could see things, and she knew the inside of people. She could see the before and the after and everything, but she didn't speak a lot. But this tells me you're very intuitive. You can read people. You've been through the mill. You're the King of Swords. You've been through it. You've been through enough that you've seen people. You know what you did. You know what they did. You can see through people. Okay? So you're very, very intuitive. You have so many major arcana cards. Right here, there's 3 major arcana cards. Major arcana cards are the major things in your life. Major obstacles or major situations, not always obstacles, because you've got the World card here. This is a fabulous card, new beginning, and you are going to become so strong. Oh my gosh. And then you've got here's another. You've got the moon, which is usually things that are hidden, but I think you're beginning to see them. You have, this is a success card. You've got the Fool again, or not again, but meaning a new path. And then, of course, you were stuck. But this has all been it's been a soul learning for you. And now, after this is over, you will not go back in a situation like that. If there's any red flags, you're out of there right off. You are so hurt, or were so hurt in the situation that, excuse me, you don't want another one like that. You're like, not going there. Sorry, baby. I'm backing off. In fact, I think if you see someone like that again, either, for some of you, if you meet someone that you think you truly love, I think you will treat them with the utmost kindness, nurturing. You will become like an empress. You will take care of that person. You will do everything you can. There are things that the other person did too. And then for some of you, the other person was, I don't quite know how to put this. They were definitely in the wrong, a lot of wrong. But both of you had some, there were some things in both, what do I want to say? On both sides, okay? But I think there was more deception on one side, okay? Now, for some of you, that was you. For others of you, that was the other person. But you both had a finger in this pot. Okay, so what did they want me to do? Apparently, they wanted me to take it from the middle. And this is the flow card. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. So this is, ooh, we're coming close on time. Okay, I don't like to make it run too far, but they're wanting you to kind of go with the flow, kind of don't go back so far. Don't live in the past. You can't. So stay with what you're doing now, things you have to do, stay busy, okay? And then this is power again with the World card. You are gaining, you're a very powerful person to begin with. You are strong as heck. I'm telling you, you are one strong puppy. You're getting through this. Oh, and this is just have a little bit of patience, okay? And you see a crane will sit there for hours sometimes. Not in focus here. They'll sit there for hours with their leg up, or but they'll wait for a fish to come by, wait to get nurturing, the food that will nurture them, excuse me. So you're coming out of this. You are coming out of this, but this was a soul lesson. Oh man, was this a soul lesson for y'all. And you are, man, you are one powerful puppy. And I will say this, every Capricorn that I know is a strong, strong person. But also, every Capricorn I know, now this is just me, the ones that I know has been going through, coming out of a rough time. So this matches with the Cappies that I know. But this is for you. This is the World card. You're coming out of this, and when you do, you can create whatever you want. Okay, I love y'all. I hope this really helps, and I love you, my little Cappies. See you later.